So basically, we were just talking about the foundation, that it's not ideal to get to the office and you are harassing everybody. Everybody go and export, all the data from, all the sources, make your HRIS, ATS, employee, exit interview, et cetera, and you want to start looking at, start generating insights from this data. There are critical questions you need to ask yourself, which will now direct you to what you are looking for. Is these questions that will guide you and direct you towards a particular action. And we were talking about why you need people analytics insights. And we said you need this when you are facing challenges, when your organization is facing challenges. There are also other reasons why you need people analytics insights. Maybe you are trying to improve decision making. Maybe when you want to enhance organizational performance, you may need people analytics insights. Maybe when you are competing in a new market and you want to take a peep into that market, you may need people analytics insights, et cetera, et cetera. And because we are HR professionals, let's look at, when your organization is facing, challenges, especially, human resource challenges, when your organization is facing challenges, especially human resource challenges. And we said when this happens, let's look at various challenges of the HR department, which include, high turnover, engagement issues, et cetera, et cetera. And so we started by telling you to ask critical questions. If the issue is turnover, it's turnover issues, what are the key questions you need to ask to guide what you are looking for, and you need to be asking employee satisfaction and engagement questions, like how satisfied, are your employees with their work, how satisfied are they with compensation and benefits, how satisfied are they with their work life, are they engaged in their roles? Do they feel valued because they are living? If they are living, these are questions you need to be asking. You need to be asking questions around whether there's any specific area of dissatisfaction that are driving this turnover. You need to be asking questions around performance, whether they are receiving adequate training, and development opportunities, whether, performance expectations are clear and aligned with the organizational goals, the organizational goals, whether the review, I hope the line manager is not doing anyhow. I hope it's not victimizing them because they are leaving. So you look at all of these factors that can contribute to turnover, compensation and benefit questions, management and leadership questions, organizational culture, questions. You look at all of those if the issue is high turnover. And we moved to some of the data sources, you need to be peeping into, and we said you're looking at job satisfaction surveys, you're looking at, various surveys, various data points, and we moved on from there and looked at other challenges apart from high, turnover. We looked at other challenges, employee engagement issues, issues around talent shortages. You are spending a lot to bring in talent, but your net is not cashing any fish. So there are critical questions you need to also ask around this. Compensation and benefit issues. If that is your problem, there are critical questions you also need to ask that will point you in the direction you should be looking at. the direction, the data sources you should be consulting to be able to drive, generate insights. If there are performance management challenges, again, there are critical questions you need to ask. So we said all of this last week, and again, I'm not going to overflog it again. I've shared the video with our community, and if you don't have access, if you have not watched it yet, maybe I will drop it in this chat room, and then you can pick it up and watch it later. Today, our job is basically hands-on Excel workshop. We want to begin to plug in and see what we can, the kind of insights we can generate from a raw data. So I'm going to just created one data. It may not be 100% real. Of course, it's not real. It may not align with what you have in your organization. But of course, I just created something, out of nothing for the sake of this class. So let me just go and look for that Excel sheet and open it so we can use it for what we want to do. I hope you can see the screen. Please confirm you can see the screen. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Umar. So we just created this, and the columns. We have the employee. Let me expand this, and let me try and zoom in so you can be bolder. So the first column is employee. Let me move this away. Everything should cooperate today. Okay, let me take it off. Okay, great. So the first column there is, column A is employee ID. Column B is managerial level, which is like the grade level. Column C is gender. Column D is date of birth. Okay, let me also say that some of you have said, I got some of your feedbacks through emails and your private chats that we should organize, that you need a physical session. That will be tough. That's going to be tough. You said we need a physical session. That's going to be tough. The best I can do for now is this virtual session. So I'm not totally ruling out the possibility of a physical training in Lagos. But for now, let's continue this virtual session. I will get back to you on that. So like I was saying, column A, where's the chat room? Please let me open the chat room so we can flow along. Column A is for employee ID, and column B is for managerial level, which some of you call the grade level. Column C is gender. D is date of birth. Column E is the date of hire. That's the date the employee was engaged. Column F is the date, is the last time he or she was promoted. G is the department. H, the location. I, the salary. J, the overall performance of the employee on a scale of 1 to 5. 0 to 5, 0 to 5. And oh my God. He said I should share it with you on WhatsApp. Okay, let me drop in the TAN HR community. I'm going to drop this file in the TAN HR community. Let me just do that quickly. These guys just, we need to attend to everyone and ensure everyone is carried along. So let me quickly drop that file in the TAN HR community. So column K is employee satisfaction. and employee satisfaction score. Column L is engagement score. Column M is the training hours completed. Column N is absence, the number of days they were absent from work, either genuinely or otherwise. The number of overtime hours done, column O. Column P is the dependents, the number of dependents each of them have. Column Q, education level. Column R, marital status. And column S, exit date. So I just, from my experience, of course, I'm not as experienced as some of you on this call, but with the little experience we have, I just felt capturing these will be sufficient for the purpose of this workshop. So now, what we have here are just the base measures. These are the base measure. So let's create useful calculated measures and attributes from this base measure. These base measure are just counts, just raw data. So we need to create useful calculated measures and attributes from this raw data. So what calculated measures can we create immediately? From what we have here, we can be looking at the demographic insights, age of employees, because the age is not there, and the formula for age. So let's go to this column, and the formula for, there are two ways to, if you want to write the age of the employees, we can either use is equals to, let me zoom it in so we can see very well. So let me zoom that in and do age, employee age. Okay. So we can either do we will need the date of birth. Where is the date of birth here? Which column is the date of birth? That's column D. Okay, great. So we can either do is equals to integer, because we don't want decimal places. We do open bracket. We do open bracket. Another open bracket. We write today, because again, we need the age of the employee is today's date minus the employee's date of birth. So again, open bracket, close bracket. And since where the date of birth is column D, and we're on, 2, we're on row 2. So this is the date of birth, column 2. And then we close that bracket and we divide everything by 365. And then we finally close the bracket and press enter. That's the age of that employee, 51. That's one way to go about it. Another way to go about it, and then how to just drag this down and it populates everything, gives you the age of all employees. And because we have applied the integer rule, it's not going to give you any decimal points. So another way of doing this is, you can create a column for today's date. For today's date. And then when you create a column for today's date, just do is equals to today, open bracket, close bracket, and press enter. It gives you today's date. So this is today's date now, and then you can drag it down to populate it to the end of the range we are considering. And so you can now run this formula. It's equals to, again, because we want the date of birth to be an integer, you can run integer, open bracket, and then we do open bracket. Now, this is the date, the date of today's date is on V, and since we are on row 2, we do date of birth row 2. And then we subtract from today's date. No, I said date of birth. Today's date. Today's date is on column V. So today's date, and we're on column 2, so that's V2. And then we subtract from it the guy's date of birth. Which column is our date of birth? D, right? So we just do D2. And then we close that bracket and we divide it by 365. And then we close that bracket finally. I hope I've not made any error. Can you see? Again, we got 51. So from this data, we have been able to calculate this date of birth, which is a calculated a measure from the base measure that we are working with, from this raw data set that we are working with. So let's just let's leave today's date here. We may need it later. What we will do, let me delete this one. Let me delete this one. So let's use this one. Employees age. So today's date coming up. I need it to be populated to the end. Part 1. Okay, let me drag it down. Let me drag it down. Okay. Okay, that's today's date and the age of the employee. So we just okay. So we have been able to derive the age of the employee from that raw data. So what insights can we? Okay, you said the first example is simpler. Yes, of course it's simpler. Why do I do my life with you now? Okay, let me drop in the chat room this formula so all of us can flow along. So you can just copy it. What's that again? I think is equals to, I know integer is there. We do open bracket. I think we do another open bracket. Then open bracket. We do today's date. Yes, we do today's date. And then we do open bracket, close bracket. And then we subtract from it the date of birth, the column for the date of birth. And then we divide it by 365. And then we close the bracket. Where column D under where column D is sorry, where's what I'm typing? Where column D is for date of birth. Okay. No, sir, that's not Otumba Bisi Oluwazim. If you put that in Excel, it won't give you what you want. Excel, you have to be detailed. So I just shared with everyone now. If you check the chat room, I just shared with everyone. I just shared with everyone the real formula. So let's move on. Okay, so another thing we can generate from this is the length of service of each employee. The length of service. So let's come here. Let's use this column W. We can also call it tenure, employee's tenure. So either you call it tenure or length of service, you are blowing the same grammar. Now, if we want to do this again, two ways, we have two ways of doing this, because employee's tenure or the length of service is just subtracting today's date from the date the employee was hired. So let's go and check which column is for the date the employee was hired. Column E. So column E is what we are dealing with when we are talking about the employee's tenure. So what we will do is the function we will use is dated if function. So we come here and do is equals to, I pray I'm able to still remember this. Dated, I know dated if, it should be dated if, open bracket, that's column E is column E, and because we are in row 2, so I know that is correct, comma, and we do today's date, and then we do open bracket, close bracket, and we do comma, and we want it to bring to us the year. We want it to bring to us, oh my God, I've scattered things here. We want it to bring to us the year. We can do day, we can do month, we can do year. So Y is for year. So we will do Y, and we will close it up and close a bracket. So let's see if this works. Excellent. So it's saying this guy has spent 11 years. So let's go and check when the guy was employed. If you say the guy has spent 11 years, that means the guy would have been employed since 2000, and this is 2024. That's 2013. So let's see if we are correct. Where is it? Where is it? Higher days. Yes, we are correct. So the guy was employed 24th of February 2013. So that means that formula is very correct. So let me drop for you in the chat room the formula. I've copied it from where I typed it now, and then we can just run it down like that. So that is the formula for let me see. I think somebody is integer today's date. Of course, it should. Of course, it's going to work. I love the simple analogy you are using, sir. Just like the date of birth, it will work also. Another thing that will work also is having today separate, and then we just do dated if we do the date the guy was engaged, comma, we do today's date, we do comma, and then we just run it. With that formula. So what other insights can we generate? What other insights can we generate? Let's look at this. Okay, we're looking at the last promotion of the guy. There's a column for last promotion. So if your organization, if an employee must spend a number of years, before his next promotion, between his last promotion and the next promotion, this can actually show you, how many years individuals have spent since their last promotion. So what can we call that now? Years, let's just say years since last promotion. Let's say years since last promotion. Again, Dr. Ogunkunle's formula will still work perfectly, and our own formula also, will still work. So let's do is equals to dated if, open bracket, let me see, what is the column for last promotion? That's column F. So we are dealing with column F here. We are dealing with column F here. So we just do dated if column F row 2, comma, we do today's date, open bracket, close bracket, and we want it to bring us the year and just the year. So let's close that up and see if it works. There is a problem. Okay, what could the problem be? Let me know. Let me just I'm just trying to copy the format of that other guy. So instead of doing E2 now, I'll just do F2. I'll do F2 and I'll do today's date, and then I'll do Y. I hope this works. Excellent. So, and then we can draw it down. Yeah. So each of these guys, the first person has spent 4 years. He was promoted 4 years ago. The second guy, 4 years ago. The third guy, a year ago. This guy, that means this guy was employed this year because he has not been promoted. If you look very well, number 4, column 5, that means the guy higher date. Sorry, let me check again, just to be sure. Date since last promotion. When was this guy promoted? So he was promoted this year. Yeah, column 5. So that's why he's returning 0. So if you want to now see, who is due for promotion this year, maybe the organization, everybody must stay on 1 grade for a particular promotion. Okay, let me drop that for you. Somebody is asking the formula for that promotion. Okay, I don't know all of these formulas, but the ones I know, I will put here. So okay, to have decimal, yes, you can. You can do. I understand what you mean, Dr. Ogunkunle. Yes, we can actually do it. So we can know which one is first, which one is next. For instance, when we're having two people on 4-4, you know, so that can work. Now, okay, I also saw your question. Why are we using dated if? Dated if function basically calculates the difference between two dates, in years, months, or dates, or days. It basically calculates, this dated if function basically calculates the differences between two dates, in years. So that's why I'm comfortable using the dated if function. Okay, 119 people on this call already. Wow. Please permit me to also use this opportunity before we start dropping again. This course continues on Tuesday with our monthly course at CIPM Ogun State branch. And that course is a certificated course. Certificates will be given to participants. So please, I will share the details on all the community platforms. So please let's ensure we join, and you can go to our website at cipmogun.org to book your certificate. It's just the certificate is 10,000 naira. I've shared our website, the link to our website in the chat room. You can please go there and book your certificate ahead of time and make sure you are at that event. So we will continue wherever we stop today. We'll continue that day, and we'll continue next Sunday is basically for chat. So today we can't exhaust the calculations in Excel because they are so broad, and not all of us know all of these calculations. These ones, I'm just familiar with it because, I do a lot of HR analytics. So you learn more by practicing again and again and again and again, opening yourself up to more formula in Excel, especially in the area that you need, in the area that you need. So what other insights can we generate? What other insights can we generate? I'm seeing salaries here. Maybe average salary, average salary, maybe by each of the grades. What is the average salary of each? That's not useful to us in this class, but again, maybe you want to see the average salary of the executives, the average salary of the officers, and the average salary of those at the managerial level. I know the average ifs function will do that trick for you. The average if functions will do that trick for you. No, something won't do it. Just the average. We want to know all of the executives, what is the average salary. So we need to pinpoint all the executives and calculate their salary and then know the average. And there is a form. I know it's the average if. Let's try it. Where is okay? That means we will be dealing with column B, which is their managerial level. We need column B, which is their managerial level, and we need column. Which column is for salary now? Column I. So column B is for their managerial level, and column I is for their salary. So for this, let's go and run the formula and see. So if you want to know the average salary, any of your any of your officers is receiving. So I'll do it and delete it because again, it's not, we don't need it. So average if, I know it's average ifs, I think it should be salary, that's I, column I, and then we're looking at the where the grade levels are. Where the grade levels are. And then if it's executive, I know we have officer there, we have executives, we have this other grade level. So let's look for the officers. I hope this is correct though. I hope this is correct. I just hope this is correct. So let's try it. Okay, great. So my formula is correct. So the average salary for the officers is 685,000 naira, 514. So if we are doing for executives, we'll just come here and change this officer to executive. So the average salary of the executives is 3,591,725. And I know this could be true. Of course, it's going to be true because the salaries of the executives are around 3 million, 3.9, 3.7, 3.6, 3.5, you know. So if it's the managers, so we just put manager here, and this one is saying 2,207,431. So this will give you a rough idea if you are doing your payroll, you know, you want to get a new hire and you are looking at the average salary of the category of the grade you want to fix in. This will give you a rough idea. So let me just delete this so we can move on. So which other insights can we generate? People left the organization. No? Hey, I'm seeing exit dates here and then plenty. So I think we can also calculate the turnover rates. So let's do that because again, that directly affects HR's performance. If the turnover rate is I think 10% is still acceptable. If it's going above 10%, then something you are already, it's a KPI issue for HR himself, you know, him or herself. If the turnover rate is above 10%, that means the retention rate is below 90%. Then I mean it's a KPI issue for HR. So that is very, very important. And the formula I've always used is the description given in ISO 30414, you know, which is a universal norm for human capital reporting that was published in 2018. So that's of course, if you have any other one that you know, you can share with us in this community. But this is the one I've always used everywhere I've consulted. And so for us to get the employee turnover rate, you know, you can do it for a period. Maybe employee turnover rate for Q1, employee turnover rate for Q2, employee turnover rate for Q3, employee turnover rate for the year. Well, you know, whatever period you are looking at, you know, how the calculation you use is basically looking at the number of terminates during that period, and you divide it by the number of employees at the beginning of the period. And then you do this in percentage. Number of people that exited the organization, you know, during a period, you are dividing it by the number of employees at the beginning of that period, and you do this in percentage. So let's try and do this. And of course, retention rate is just 1 minus that turnover rate. 1 minus that turnover rate, and you do it in percentage or so, and you get your retention rate. So let's look at are we having a problem of retention here? Are we having a turnover problem here? We will soon know from this data. So let's see what is locked within this data. So for us to calculate the number of employees at the beginning of the year, we need to look at the sum total of all the employees before the date, that's before the year begins. The sum total of the employees before the year begins, because any employee that starts the year with us that later resigns during the year, we're not going to count that into this calculation. We're looking at the employee that started the year with us, and then that will be one of the things we will use, one of the metrics we will use when we are calculating this turnover rate. So for us to get the sum total of the employees, the number of employees at the beginning of the year, I know is a sum product function we will use. Let's go down so we can. So the columns we are dealing with. So we'll be dealing with the date you hired the employee. We are dealing with the date you hired the employee, and we are also dealing with the date the employee exited the organization. We're going to be looking at the date you hired the employee and the date the employee exited the organization. For the column for the date the employee exited the organization, that's column S. Please note it down somewhere. Column S, as you can see. And the date you hired the employee, that is column E. Yes, column E is for the date you hired the employee, and column S is for the date the employee exited the organization. So let's go. Let me scroll down so we can just compute this somewhere and delete and move on. So I know you can, if you have any other formula that you use in the organization or where you consult, please share with us. Yes, the class is recorded. So for this one, I know you always start your Excel formula with is equals to, and then I know it's some product. This one used to be long ago. I know it's some product. So we open the bracket. Okay, so I want to do the date of hire now. So I'm doing E and doing column 2. Let's do column 2 and then running it through to what's the last column here? Column I said row 2, and then the last row here is 112. So the column 2 is the beginning of row 2 is the beginning of the rows where we have the employees data, and row 112 is the last row where the employees data ends. So we're having where the employees data starts from, and then we're running it through to where the employee data ends. So that is row 2 to row 112. And then we are saying all of the people that are there, must be employed before the beginning of the year. Before the beginning of this year, because we are not factoring, we are not factoring in those that were employed this year. The number of employees we had at the beginning of the year, not, if you are employed 2nd January, even if you are employed 1st January, you won't still, you won't be factored into this calculation. We want to know the number of employees we had at the beginning of the year. So we're having dates, and then the date is the beginning of the year. So we are doing year, and we are doing today, and then open bracket, close bracket, and then so we're now doing the date is 1st of January 1/1. Yes, we're doing 1st of January, and then let's close that bracket. Let's close that bracket. And then that first close is for the year, and then let's close it again for the other function that will run this other function here, where we had this first close of the bracket is for this one, and this second one is for that last one. So now we have factored in the date, that's the beginning of the year, and we are multiplying asterisk by, so we are using OR now, the OR function, and we are saying the exit date. The exit date is which column now? I think it was column S that we talked about. Column S. And then we start again with from row 2 to row 112, which is the entire, range of cells where we have the employee data. And then we are doing is equals to apostrophe, apostrophe, and then we are doing comma. So with this now, we are saying S2 to S112 must be greater than or equals to the dates that is the beginning of the year. So we are doing year, the date is year, and then today, that's the beginning of the year now, is what I want to write. We are doing today, and then we close the bracket and we do 1st of January. And then how many close of brackets are we doing now? 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope this formula is correct. Excellent. Excellent. So what we have here is the number of employees at the beginning of the year, and it's 108. And it's 108. So if we can also verify this, if you have 1,000,000 employees and you want to know the number of employees you have at the beginning of the year, it's the same formula you will run and you will get them. But we can actually manually verify and confirm that this number is correct. We have, this is cell 112, and we're running it from cell 100 and cell 2. So that means we have 111 employees. If you look at the employees that were with us at the beginning of the year, that means employees that were not employed in this year, you'll see that they will be correct. They will be 108. If you check this very well, you can check with the data with you. So since my formula is correct, let me just copy it and drop it for you. Where is, okay. So so this is the formula for number of employees at the beginning of the year. So I've dropped that in the chat room. So now that we have, the number of employees, okay, I saw your chart. Okay, so let me explain. Tayo says this Excel is cumbersome and not for kids. Hey, see my brother, you just need to practice. So not everybody has the resources to go and commit to expensive HRIS. Some of us have crammed some of these formulas. Some of us are still exposing ourselves to more formulas because we don't have a choice. We must be able to derive insights from any data. You throw it at me, I will sort it and begin to look for the numbers I'm looking for. And then if I'm going to meet management that, this is what we need, I must be able to present facts and figures to back up whatever request I'm making, whatever claims I'm making. It's a data-driven world, and we must be able to back every decision up with facts and figures. So when they throw the data at you, just sort it out and start looking for, what calculated insights can you generate from the raw data. So it's asking AI aloud. Yes, you can ask AI, you can throw it to AI, but all of these free artificial intelligence models they will tell you they are not wired to do analysis. There are sophisticated, artificial intelligence models that you can ask. Secret as consultants. No, no, not everybody can subscribe to. Not everybody has the resources to subscribe to. Not everybody has the resources to subscribe to artificial intelligence, and all of these formulas are, let them have it. There are people, they can't have everything. They can't give them everything, but again, these little ones we can give them. Let them. We created a platform. We invited everybody. We said, let's create a community. They are here now. They have needs. If they don't have needs, 110 people won't still be on this call right now, listening to this young man. So, sir, I'm pleading with you that we keep meeting their needs. That's why they joined CIPM. That's why they joined our community. That's why they elected me as their, leader. I'm here now. I have to provide the thing. So the benefits they are enjoying as a member of this community is this secret we are revealing to them. And I know they will also pay back by picking up the CIPM Ogun State certificates during Tuesday's course. I'm not asking anybody to pay a dime to me. By the mercies of God, I'm not poor. But if you feel you have derived so much value from this community, the best you can do is on Tuesday, please be around. Also participate in that class, and a token of 10,000 naira for all of this, and then we give you a certificate that you have also gone through this class. So I believe that will. It says thanks for the secret, and no problem. Let's go ahead. I'll give you all the formulas I know. I'm not the only one I'm not a superstar in this analytics game. I learn also. I learn and I apply because when they ask me to come and consult, and I get to your organization, I can't be blabbering. I must have something in my head, to when I'm looking at your paper, your books, I must have something that I'm looking for. And by the time I'll be able to sort all the raw data, I must be able to apply certain formula to generate insights that I will present back to management. If not, you won't pay me. You'll say this guy is not, it's not efficient. So again, I expose myself to more knowledge, digging deep on the formulas that will work for me in this my field. And each of these insights that we want to draw out, there are formulas, especially if it's in Excel. There are formulas you can just practice again and again, and then until you master it. Sometimes you put it in, it gives you error. You try again and again and again until you're able to get it, and then you move on from there. So okay, I got your chart. Some products. Okay, some products is a function that basically multiplies corresponding elements, in arrays, and then sums the product. We use it for this kind of complex analysis, of a data, especially when you want to do issues around, turnover rates. So employee at the beginning of the year, this is how you get it. And when you are done with this, remember we are looking for terminates also. We said who can remind us the formula for turnover rates? Number of terminates during the period. Now we are looking at the entire year. So number of people that left the organization, and thankfully we already have them, under the exit date. So we just look at the number of people that exited the organization this year. Yes, we are looking at this year. Some people may exit the organization the previous year, that may still be a part of the people captured in the exit dates. You have to ensure that your calculation does not capture those people. And I will show you how to do it now. So when you are doing that, your calculation, you are looking at the number of people that exited the organization this year, and you are dividing that, by the number of employees at the beginning of the year. That's the period. So we have calculated 108 now at the number of employees we have at the beginning of this year. So now let's calculate the number of people that left the organization this year. If there are not many, you can just count. But now if you are dealing with 1 million, a data set of 1 million employees, then you need a formula. So the number of terminates during the period, we are counting now. We are counting since we have each of them having their exit date captured. So we use the function. That's we are counting. So we use the count function. We use the count function. Now there's a difference between count and count A. I will explain that to you later. If you use the function count, it's basically counting the number of cells in a range. If for our example, we have cells that's column 2 to column 112. So it's counting. So if we are doing for column E, it's counting everything on its way between column 2 and column 112. So it's counting everything. It's counting the number of cells within that range that contains number. Now, if it's count A, it's counting the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So count is counting numbers. Count A is counting everything, whether number or no number, is counting everything. So now, which one are we going to apply here? Which one are we going to apply here? Count or count A? So we are going to apply count A. Equal 0, 2 to 112 within each column, you mean? Yes. Of course, you understand the grammar. If I do bala blue here, you shall understand what I mean. The employee data is within the first employee is on row 2. The last employee is on row 112. And the columns are where we have each of these variables. Employee number, we have the hire date, we have the date of birth, etc., etc. So you understand. So if I base it around, please just understand that right now my brain is on mathematics mode. So English is not flowing fluently as it should. So we're looking at the number of terminates during this period, and which column do we have the exit? Which column? Okay, column S, exit dates. Column S is exit date. So we are looking at column S now. So let's go to where is that? Where I calculated the number of employees at the beginning of. Okay, yeah, here is it. So for this count, we basically do, we have it's from row 2 to row 112. And we just want to count everything there. So we are doing count A from S2 to S112. Wow. High turnover day. 29 people resigned in this organization. 29 people ran away. Hey, the HR should just go and resign. If this is your organization. Oh, okay, Dr. Peter, thank you very much. If this is your organization, just go and resign, because that means the culture here is, maybe the culture is extremely toxic, and there is a problem. I don't know, but this is not a good sign. So the turnover rate for this meeting, for this data set, we are having. So this one now is the number of terminates, number of terminates. Let me wrap this text. Good. So we can see this one. I'm coming on. So this one is number of employees at the beginning of the year. Again, let me wrap it so we can see. And then we said turnover rate. Turnover rate is equals to number of terminates during the period. So that is, for us to calculate that, so we'll be having is equals to this cell divided by the total number of employees at the beginning of the period, which is this cell. So that's what we have. So that is what we have, is 0.26852. 0.26852 is what we have. So now, as a percentage, just come here and go and format it. Format cell. Where's format cell now? Okay. And then come here and change it to percentage. Can you see the turnover rate? Turnover rate is 26.85%. If this is your organization, please go and do something. HR. So your retention rate is basically 1 minus 73.15%. 73. This is serious. So if this is your organization, then there's a serious challenge. He said toxic work environment produce such results. You can't be you can't completely say this is the issue. I mean, a lot of insights are locked, within these data sets. A lot of insights are locked within this set. What gives you the impression that it's only a toxic work environment that can produce this kind of results? I mean, let's see if there is a correlation between satisfaction and performance. If the employee says they are satisfied, because now we are looking at this kind of insights, the turnover rate is very high, the retention rate is very low. So what could be the cause? I think those are the questions we need to be asking. If I come to your organization and I run analysis on your data, your employee data, and I'm getting this, then I become a bit unconscious or uncomfortable. I become a bit uncomfortable. The questions I'll be asking are, I need to start running the correlation functions. What could be responsible for this? Is there correlation between employee satisfaction and their performance? What could be directly responsible for this? So let's start running, various correlations and asking ourselves various questions. Now, for correlation between satisfaction and performance. Where is satisfaction? Where is performance? Which column is for satisfaction? Which column is for performance? Overall performance is on which column is this? Column J. Overall performance is on J. Satisfaction is on K. So let's go and run the correlation analysis and see the coefficient between these two data ranges. Okay, so we do is equals to CORREL, and we do performance is J, right? So we do J, and which one is satisfaction? That's K, and then we do K. And then let's close that. Let's run some formula. I know this is average. You want to see, again, what we are looking for here is we want to see if, employee satisfaction score is responsible for high attrition, whether it's their satisfaction, you've deployed surveys, you've collated all the responses from these surveys, and you want to see if satisfaction, we're trying to diagnose what the problem is, why are people leaving? So we do equals to, average. I think it should be average ifs. It should be average ifs, and their satisfaction is on K. Satisfaction is on K, and the exit is on S. Abi, it's on column S, and then I know is greater than, less than, and then we close it. Which other one? And then we subtract from this the average ifs of the KK. You subtract from it an SS, and we run equals to here, and So I just applied the formula here now, and this is what it brought. So it gave me 1.029. Give me 1.029, and if what we're trying to do right now is to know if employee satisfaction score is responsible for higher attrition. So we applied that formula, and it gave us that. And what that means is that, since it's a negative number, it indicates that lower satisfaction scores of, that employees give are associated with higher attrition rates. So if this happens in your organization, you need to be looking at issues of the employee satisfaction, because from the data, from the insights generated from the data, this is responsible for the attrition that you are having. Also, we can do we can apply the other function, which is the Corel function, And if we are going to do this, we'll be doing the if-else function. We're going to be doing the if function, creating a binary variable just to represent whether an employee has exited or not. And then you can do this by adding, a new column. Maybe that one stopped at S. We can do a new column for T, and then I think the formula is if open bracket. Let me see if I can run the formula here. That's the other way of doing this. If you do is equals to if you do if open bracket S, that's the exit date, and then you do is equals to you do, and then you do 0. That's if it's not filled, it should return 0, and if it's filled, it should return 1, and then you close it. So, and then you run it down. So what this means is that everywhere you see 1, that means somebody exited the organization. Can you see? Everywhere you see 1, somebody exited that organization. Everywhere there is 0, that means that person has not exited. This guy exited. That's why you are seeing 1. This guy exited. That's why you are seeing 1. So using the Corel function now, like I said, this formula will, assign a 0 to employees who have not exited and a 1 to those that have exited. Then you can then use the Corel function to calculate the correlation between the column K, which is the satisfaction score, and the column T, which is the exit status. And the formula is basically equals to, you do the Corel function, and you do K, and we are on T now. So T. So this is what we have. So if it's a negative correlation coefficient, the way we had, what we have here is minus 0.3551. So if it's a negative correlation coefficient, this will indicate that lower satisfaction scores are basically associated with higher attrition rates. So that means, the lower satisfaction score here means that the employee satisfaction is tied to the attrition. So what you are seeing here, this 0 minus 0.3551 means that the reason one of the reasons employees are leaving is because they are not satisfied with our organization. So you don't need to tell me that employees are satisfied. It shows from the analysis and the insights we have generated from this analysis that the employees are not satisfied. So that's another insight we can generate from another insight we can generate from that data that we have with us. I said we can also look at how training has impacting, efficiency, whether training has impacting or not. We can run that from that data. Which other thing can we? Let me zoom in very well. Our time is up. We need to go. But it's my hope that we have really learned today. We can also know if there's a correlation between training has and performance score. If there's a correlation between training has and performance score, maybe we just quickly run that and then we go. Is there a correlation between training has and performance score? Where is training has? Column M. Column M is training has. Where is performance score? Overall performance score, column J. So what we can do, let's come here and run the function, correlation, the correlation function, correl. We do M, and then we do J. Now let me explain what happened. So it doesn't look like I'm doing magic for those of us that are not really savvy with this. The correlation function calculates the correlation coefficient between two data ranges. The M column that we chose is for the training has. The J function is basically for the performance score. So the formula we applied will basically calculate the correlation coefficient, which is a value between -1 and 1. So a value of 1 will indicate that this is a perfect correlation. That's more training hours are associated with higher performance scores. So if it's a value of -1, that means a perfect negative correlation means that more training hours are associated with lower performance score. If it's a value of 0, that what this means is basically that there's no correlation between the two variables. So it's important to remember that correlation alone does not imply causation, causation, and we need to consult other data. So for this now, what does this mean? What does this mean? What we have with us is 0.18. So I think I need to unmute us so I can hear our views from us. Yes, it's time to unmute and lend your voice to the discussion. We have come to the end of the class and it's time for questions and contributions. The guy won't show us, but we conquered the guy. Last. It's the the laptop that is messing up. Can anyone still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So this.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so this score of 0.18, what does it mean? I said if it's a value of 1, it indicates a perfect positive correlation. That means more training hours are associated with higher performance scores. If the value is -1, what does it mean? That means more training hours are associated with lower performance scores. If it's 0, if it's around 0, it means there is no correlation. This one means, there's a correlation between the training hours and the performance score, but it's not that strong because it's just a 0.18. So that's just what it means. We can't really tie it around performance. We can't say training is directly impacting performance. So that's what this analysis means. So questions, contributions, and then we share degrees, and then we go home. Okay. Umo, you have the floor.
Okay, so good evening. Good evening, Mr. Sean. Thank you so much for the enlightenment you've given to us. I mean, it's really impactful. I want to ask, you were talking about turnover rate and retention rates, and then you were talking about different quarters being measured. Are there, if we are measuring quarter by quarter, are there different formulas to measure each quarter?
No, the data set you are considering is for that quarter. At the beginning of the quarter, the number of, is the 10 minutes, the 10 minutes, the number of people that left divided by the number of people at the beginning of that quarter. Do you understand now?
Oh, no, when you spoke, you said it was at before the year began.
Now, the reason I was using before the year began was the range we are looking at. We are looking at for the entire year. The year starts at January 1st, Abi?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. The year starts at January 1st. So whoever exited whoever you employed during the year will not be counted as the number of employees you have. So 12 midnight, January 1st. That's where we are picking our data from. Do you understand now?
Yes. But the question I'm asking, the question I'm asking is, if I want to, for example, consider the attrition rate in a particular quarter, let's say from January to April, or from May to August. If I want to consider from May to August, will the formula still be the same? Because I'm seeing
Emagbo, you are picking let's say May to August. May first, Abi?
Yes.
The number of employees you are considering are the number of employees 12 midnight, May 1st. Do you understand?
So on the formula, the date will be the date I'm considering.
Yes. This one I chose I chose it is the number of employees, not date. The number of employees. So the date now we are picking May. Before you can see it was before today, then comma 1-1. So that today 1-1 will change to May.
Oh, okay.
1-1 means January 1st.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you understand?
I understand.
So that would change to May 1st. And then that would be the employees that you have within that period is what I will share the formula with you later. Okay. I don't want to overflog this issue. I will drop the formula for quarterly. We've done for annual, right? No, the formula for quarterly consideration I will share with you on the WhatsApp group.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sean.
God bless you. Okay, so this is where we draw the curtains. So how has it been? I hope your expectations are met. Yeah. Yes, you can just unmute and and let me hear your feedback. I hope your expectations are met.
Well, yes, indeed.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. It looks cumbersome, right? But I mean, if you are rich and you can afford, advanced analytics platforms, congratulations. For some of us, it's still this Excel, and it's serving us, so we just stick with it. Yes, Tosin Olubukola
Thank you very
Agbola.
much for.
Okay, Pastor Tokunbo Ariola, God bless you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful experience. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Tosin wanted to say something.
Yes, yes. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for this nice session. I was going to say that yes, expectations were met, and this requires going back to listen again and again to the recording and trying to get the formulas right. It's the formulas are a bit long, and it really requires practice and practice and practice. Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you. So you just keep practicing the ones it's not all the formulas I know. It's not you can't even exhaust Excel formulas, but the one you use regularly, these are your tools that you use regularly. You need to put it in your head and check again and again. You can see when he almost threw wrench in our works, I was sure my formula was correct. Is the Excel, is the laptop I'm using, I don't know what went wrong with the Excel. I had to change. I had to switch system, and then the formula worked on another Excel on another laptop. So if I'm not sure my formula was correct, I would have been panicking. So you need to know your onions. You need to put it in your head and know that this is what you use. Simple. You can start with simple formulas like today's date. Today's date is basically is equals to today, open bracket, close bracket. That solves the problem. If it's date of birth, is today's date minus if it's the age, it's today's date minus the date of birth divided by 365, and you make sure you apply the integer function at the beginning. So it's equals to integer open bracket, today's date minus the date of birth close bracket divided by 365 close bracket. And just put all of these formulas in your head, and then anytime they call on you, you're able to respond. Mr. Kanu, Mr. Kanu was raising his hand before I call Umar.
Yes, I was raising my hand to say thank you very much. The training actually exceeded our expectation from my own perspective. Though I didn't join at the beginning, but what I joined, it was quite insightful. And thank you so much once again for bringing this to our knowledge.
Thank you very much. Yes, Umar, we need to
go. Mr. Sean, I want to ask also, because someone asked, I think one Mr. Adebola Williams was asking, I think it would be helpful if you let us know. What about involuntary exits? Should it be part of this calculation of exits?
Yes, exit is exit. Whether resignation is a sack, exit is exit. Okay. He left the organization. That's all that matters.
Okay. Thank you very much.
God bless you, man.
Thank you. I look forward to having more sessions with you, in the future. Thank you so much.
No, God bless you, man.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Okay, sorry. When you were doing the presentation, you mentioned that especially when you looked at the data sets regarding rate of turnover, which was very high, and you said that HR should be worried. Now, my challenge or concern is, what if management is truly not bothered about, because I've worked in an organization where management is actually not interested. In fact, the MD will tell you if you are not satisfied, you can leave. So apparently he's not bothered about employee satisfaction and employee welfare. And then you realize that the rate of turnover was very high, in the organization. And he didn't care. So would you, despite all efforts, in fact, whatever effort we made, to improve employee satisfaction was rebuffed. And at a point, he felt that, look, we shouldn't be pushing that, that we were crossing our boundaries. At the point, I had to leave, So how do you blame HR in this kind of situation?
I'm not the one blaming HR. If it's not a KPI issue for you, you don't have a problem. But more often than not, in most organizations, the attrition rate is a KPI issue for HR. So if it's not your headache, but again, as a people manager, as a human resource manager, if the attrition is high, you don't want to, because it affects you psychologically. You have to be the referee, between management and the people, and your people that you are trying to protect. They are just exiting the organization. It's becoming high. So what are you doing there? Get out.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
So if it's not a KPI issue for you, just it's either you exit or you stay there. But again, if that's your job, it's just like you being a doctor and people are dying. Everybody that comes to that hospital is dying. You won't want to stay there. You just because your job is to keep people alive. So if your job is to ensure that employees are engaged, the culture is right, the work is moving on and everything is going off, even if it's not a KPI issue for you, my brother, just exit. But more often than not, they usually tie attrition issues as a KPI issues, around the HR's neck. Yes. More before I Philomena, no, I'm coming. Okay, Philomena, please go ahead. Then I'll call Umo and then Linda.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Thank you so much for the insightful presentation. Please, I'm just calling to find out, will the recorded version be shared with us after this session?
Yes. We usually we host it on YouTube. We host it on YouTube and then we share with the community. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, I beg you. That's the only way you can get.
Okay. What's the name? What's the name on the YouTube?
I'll share the link. I will share the link now.
I will subscribe. All right, sir. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So has Umo gone before I call on Linda?
I'm still here.
Yes, please go ahead. You were raising your hand.
I've put down my hand. I was in agreement with you.
Oh, okay.
When you said about attrition rates and it being hung on the neck of the HR, that we were relating it to doctors, that if in the hospital people keep dying and they're not recovering, the doctor should resign. Same also with the human resource practitioner. You should just walk out of that place before it taints your reputation as a practitioner. Yeah.
Yes.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Shaw.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Linda. So I've shared my YouTube channel, my YouTube page now, or channel. Please, you can just subscribe. You'll see, if you go to the professional development section there, you see all of our past videos there. So you can keep watching and watching. Thank you very much. So I think that will be all for now. Linda, you have spoken now. You just spoke now.
I've not spoken. No.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead. I think you will be the last contributor. I need to go home.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate. For some of the concerns, what you have presented tonight is best practice, what should obtain in an ideal work environment. But when you present these things to management, and sometimes, the hands of the HR, I don't think it's every time you should always consider leaving, because when you even look at the application of our labor laws in some organizations, there's certain things that are supposed to, that are the requirement, but most organizations don't do this thing. And then you just keep on doing your bit, because that's not your bus stop. You just consider that maybe you are in transit to somewhere better. But what I wanted to ask, I just wanted to add that to the concern when you make such presentations to management, especially when it is the owner, one-man business or something. As an HR, you should know how to do these things. So knowledge is not lost. You do what you need to do to improve yourself for continuous learning, for your own capacity development, because that organization or that place is not your bus stop. And then now, what I wanted to ask Mr. Badiru, the scores that you used for performance, and satisfaction, is it from a survey? I was really
No,
concerned.
this one I just generated it though. I just
Okay,
generated it.
hypothetical.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because when I followed the previous recordings you sent, there are sources of data that you presented, and part of it are those surveys. When you put out those surveys, you get input, and then you analyze your data, and then you now have this column that is fixed. So I was really concerned that where are these figures coming from? But now when you say they are hypothetical, then that's fine for me.
They are
Thank you
hypothetical
so
just for the sake of the class, just
for
for us to have
for the
something
class.
to,
All
yes.
right. Thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Yeah.
Well done, please. God bless you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So this is where we draw the curtains. Again, the announcements. Tuesday, we will continue the class with artificial intelligence for data analytics. And then next Sunday now, we are going straight to dashboards, running charts, our pivot tables, slicers, and all of that. So till we meet on Tuesday, 11 a.m. on Tuesday, please stay safe and enjoy your month. God bless you. Yeah, 11 a.m. on Tuesday.
Please kindly share your YouTube link on the community so that because I was trying to join, it wasn't going through. So that
okay. I should share on the WhatsApp group, Abby.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will share. God bless you. So thank you very much, everyone. It's been a fantastic 2.5 hours on this call. Thank you very much. I saw Adio Shaibu, my Oga from Abuja.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Mr. Badiru, thank you very much for this knowledge. I missed large part of them, but I'll check it out on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Sir. You're welcome, sir.